And it's back to school time, not just for the kids, but for the pets as well. Dr. Kelly Gebhardt from Happy Tales is talking about all things back to school, especially when it comes to pets and things. So we've got someone asking, what is the best way to deal with separation anxiety?
So there are a number of things. If it's really bad, looking at, talking with your regular vet about medication. No shame in that. I've actually had to use some medication for one of our dogs who has separation anxiety and was chewing our door frame. So, and medication definitely helps. And while they're on medication, doing some behavioral modification to help decrease that anxiety related behavior. And then you can taper off the medication. Some of the separation anxiety can be managed by gradually increasing, starting with short time periods away from home, and gradually increasing the length of time that you're away, so that they start to realize, okay, they're going to come home soon. I don't have to be as anxious about it. And really implementing the as uneventful as possible, the departures and the returns is an important part of modifying those behaviors. And I do them for my own dogs because I've had to modify some of their behaviors because they were acting crazy. So we needed to de-escalate.
All right, if it happens with the vet, it can happen to us. And so there you go. Okay, this person wants to know, is dry food or wet food better for cats, and does it matter?
I love this question. I talk to clients about this all the time. Cats are carnivores. Canned food is much better for them than dry food. Dry food is sometimes easier to feed, but canned food is much better because as carnivores, their bodies are designed to manage a higher protein diet, lower carbohydrate. So canned foods are higher in moisture and protein, lower in carbohydrates. The extra moisture in the canned food is really key for a happy, healthy urinary tract. So if a cat can eat a mostly or all canned food diet, it's going to help optimize their urinary tract, increase their hydration, and give them a better nutrient profile that their bodies are designed for, which is higher protein, higher moisture, lower carbohydrates. So canned food really is the way to go for cats. You end up feeding more of it than you do with dry food. It's like us eating lettuce would be like the canned food, or chicken or fish, the proteins, very low fat, high in protein, versus pretzels, which are dry and high in carbohydrates, right? So canned food is definitely the way to go for cats.
All right, this question is, what's the best way to potty train a puppy with them being home alone?
That's a tough one, especially when we have to be gone from home 8 or 10 hours a day, because puppies can only hold their bathroom for about 1 hour for every month they are old. So it's specifically talking about urine. So they can only hold their urine for about 1 hour for every month they are old. So if they are 4 months old, they could hold their urine for about 4 hours. So you want to be thinking about, with potty training, can you get yourself back home in 4 hours to let them out, reward them for that, positive peeing and pooping outside, and then back in the crate? Or can you do a pet sitter or have a friend come over or a family member and help? But keeping to that window to create a successful positive reinforcement behavior training situation is very important. If they have to hold their pee and poop for 10 hours, they're not going to get that association of using the bathroom outside the house versus inside. And then you might end up having to potty train them to a pee pad inside the house. If you have to put them in a big crate to let them go to the bathroom, animals don't usually like to pee and poop where they sleep. So if you have a puppy and you put them in a really big crate, they have a place to go that's away from their bed, but it will really delay the potty training progress.
Yeah, and when you're thinking about only 4 hours in between, you really do have to be able to be home to do that. Otherwise, the dog really is never going to get that.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough when you have to be away from home.
Right. All right. Well, we appreciate all of your expertise and your time, and especially telling us not to be so crazy when we get home with the pets. That's going to be really hard to train ourselves to do that.
It is really hard. Yeah.
If you missed any of this, we're going to put all of these clips in the Two Wants to Know section. It'll be there in just a few moments.